Today, I'm going to be talking about lunations in general, very briefly. What I do is I draw up a chart for every lunation. Kriyananda felt that lunations were very important, and it's a really good way to keep track of what's going on astrologically, to look at the new moon and full moon. So every 2 weeks at least, you're looking at something astrological and getting some information. We're talking about not knowing what day it is. It's also real easy to let go of what is going on astrologically. If you're not looking at something like every day, and I don't look at my aspects every day, but I do have a general idea of what's going on. Kriyananda always talks about that your natal chart is the most important chart, and that you have to know your natal chart. You have to know what's in your natal horoscope to understand how the new moon or the full moon or an eclipse would affect your chart, right? And he felt that the most important aspect that you could look at a lunation just like a transit. So it's at a particular degree, it's a particular point. And he said that mostly, and I do the same thing. I forgot that he said it, but then I just read somewhere and I went like, oh yes, he's in my head saying that too, that it's mostly the conjunctions that are the most important, and then opposition. So the new moon or full moon or an eclipse conjunct a planet or a angle or something important in your chart, and then the opposition and maybe the squares, but he never looked, especially if you were talking about prediction, was not looking at a sextile or a trine or anything like that. So you're really just looking at the major hard aspects. He also talked about that a new moon or full moon aspect isn't, he said, it isn't earth-shattering. It's not a big aspect. Remember, you're going to have two lunations a month, at least the way that we're looking at lunations. We're going to have a new moon every month and a full moon every month. So we have them all the time. And so they go by, and they go by really fast. So it's important to think about that. Not only do they go by really fast, but that they have a period of time that they sort of rule. So the new moon rules a couple days before the new moon, and then for 2 weeks. And the full moon rules that the couple days, and then that day of the full moon, and then for a couple of weeks. So it's going like we're going blip, 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 blip the whole time. It's like a watch or a timepiece or a clock or something like that. You want to think about them. So it works like a transit. It can be a conjunction. And also the other important thing is what the new moon promises, the full moon fulfills. So you're often looking at the new moon to say, what happened on the new moon? And what did you start? What did you begin? Who did you meet? What interesting thing came up for you at the new moon? And then you look to see, you're looking to see what comes up then at the full moon. Is there a completion? Is there extra information? Is there, like a fulfillment of something? You promise something, then 2 weeks later you fulfill it. And so that's something that you would observe as you're looking at these lunations throughout the year.